Welcome everyone to another episode of Thinking Points Debates. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that I think is on everyone's mind, whether they admit it or not: social media and its iron grip on our attention spans. Ellen, my friend, I'm here to tell you it's a problem. A big one.
Carl, always one for the dramatic entrance. But I appreciate the candor. And I agree, it's a huge topic. But iron grip? I think that's a bit much. I'd argue it's not the platform itself, but how we choose to engage with it, or rather, how we misuse it. That's the real culprit.
Misuse? Ellen, you're being generous. Let's be honest, it's designed to be addictive. Every notification, every endless scroll, every like is a dopamine hit. We've all been there, right? You pick up your phone to check one thing and suddenly 45 minutes have evaporated and you're watching a video of a cat playing the piano. Our brains are literally being rewired for constant, instant gratification, and it's eroding our ability to focus on anything deep or long form.
Okay, I'll grant you the dopamine hit argument, Carl. The design is certainly engaging. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here. Social media, at its core, is a tool. A very powerful one. Think about the incredible connections it fosters, the communities it builds, the information it disseminates during crises. Is it destroying attention spans, or is it simply highlighting our own lack of discipline in managing our digital consumption? I mean, before social media, people would binge watch TV or read magazines for hours. Distractions have always existed.
But Ellen, there's a fundamental difference. Binge watching a TV show or reading a book while consuming often involves sustained attention on a single narrative or topic. Social media is a constant barrage of fragmented information, jumping from one topic to another in microbursts. It trains our brains to expect novelty every few seconds. How can you expect someone to sit down and read a 300-page book or work on a complex project for hours when their brain is conditioned to need a new stimulus every 10 seconds? It's impacting our deep work, our critical thinking, even our ability to have long, meaningful conversations.
I hear your concern about fragmentation, truly. And I agree that a constant flood of diverse short-form content can be challenging for sustained focus. But isn't that where personal agency comes in? We have the power to curate our feeds, to follow accounts that provide valuable, in-depth content. Many educators, journalists, and thought leaders use social media platforms to deliver nuanced discussions, even long-form videos or threads that encourage deep engagement. It's not all cat videos, Carl. And if someone is struggling with focus, isn't it more about developing self-regulation skills rather than blaming the platform entirely?
Developing self-regulation skills against a multi-billion-dollar industry that employs literal armies of psychologists and data scientists to keep you hooked? That's a David and Goliath battle, Ellen. And frankly, David's losing. Look at the numbers on screen time, the rise in anxiety, the documented decrease in reading comprehension among younger generations. This isn't just about individual willpower. It's about an environment that is actively hostile to sustained attention. It's not a neutral tool when its very business model relies on maximizing your time on the app.
Okay, the business model argument is a strong one. I'll concede that. They do want our attention. But so do television networks, gaming companies, and even news outlets, right? Their goal is engagement. The crucial difference is that with social media, we have more control than we often realize. We can turn off notifications. We can set app limits. We can unfollow accounts that don't serve us. We can even choose to use it only for specific purposes. For example, checking in with family, learning a new skill, or staying updated on niche interests. The problem isn't the hammer. It's how we're swinging it. And often, we're swinging it aimlessly.
But how many people actually do that, Ellen? How many people are consciously curating their feeds and setting strict limits? The default experience is one of overwhelm. And for kids growing up with this as their primary mode of interaction and information gathering, what hope do they have? They're learning to consume information in fragmented, bite-sized pieces, which is totally antithetical to critical thinking, problem solving, and developing a nuanced understanding of complex issues. This isn't just about personal choice. It's about a societal shift in how we process information, and it's profoundly worrying for future generations.
That's a valid concern, Carl, especially regarding younger users. Education is key here. Instead of demonizing the platforms, we should be teaching digital literacy, critical evaluation of sources, and healthy screen habits from a young age. Just like we teach kids about road safety, we need to teach them about digital safety and responsible usage. It's not about quitting it entirely. It's about mastering it. Imagine if we said books were destroying attention spans because some people get lost in fiction and ignore their responsibilities. It's about balance and awareness.
But the analogy to books isn't quite right. A book engages you deeply with a single narrative. Social media scatters your attention across hundreds of disparate points. And let's talk about the impact on productivity. How many workdays are derailed by checking social media just for a minute? How many creative projects are left unfinished because the allure of the feed is too strong? It's not just attention spans. It's our output, our ability to innovate, our capacity for sustained effort in any field. It's a constant low-grade distraction that saps our mental energy throughout the day.
I agree that it can be a massive productivity killer if not managed. But again, the onus is on the individual or the organization to set boundaries. Many workplaces block social media during work hours or encourage focus time where phones are put away. And for individuals, it's about recognizing the triggers and developing alternative habits. If you find yourself mindlessly scrolling when you should be working, that's a signal to implement a strategy. Put your phone in another room, use a focus app, or schedule specific social media breaks. It's not an uncontrollable force. It's a habit that can be broken or modified.
You talk about breaking habits, but let's consider the insidious nature of these habits. They're often unconscious. We pick up the phone without even thinking. We feel that phantom vibration. Our brains are literally craving that hit, and that to me is the definition of addiction. Not in the clinical sense, perhaps, but a behavioral addiction that has real consequences for our cognitive abilities. It's like saying a gambling addiction is just misusing a casino. The environment is designed to exploit our vulnerabilities.
Okay, that's fair. There are certainly addictive qualities in the design, and it exploits certain psychological vulnerabilities. I won't deny that. But here's the thing. Human beings have always had vulnerabilities to distraction and instant gratification. We need to evolve our strategies to cope with modern tools. Look at the positive side. It's a powerful learning tool. I've learned more about specific niche topics, art forms, and even practical skills from curated content on social media than I ever did from traditional sources. It's democratized information and expertise in a way nothing else has. It's not inherently bad. It's inherently powerful. And like any powerful tool, it demands respect and careful handling.
Powerful for niche learning, perhaps, but at what cost to our generalist attention, our ability to engage with the world beyond the screen? I've seen firsthand how conversations suffer, how people struggle to maintain eye contact, how quickly they reach for their phone during a lull. It's creating a society that's always on, always connected, but paradoxically always isolated in their own digital bubble. The very fabric of human connection and deep engagement is being frayed, and I lay a significant portion of that at social media's feet.
And I can see why you feel that way, Carl. I've certainly had those moments too, where I'm at dinner and everyone's looking at their phone. It's frustrating. But is that social media's fault? Or is it our own collective failure to set social norms and boundaries around its use? We teach kids no phones at the dinner table. We can extend that to adults. It comes back to conscious choices. We need to be more intentional about our usage, rather than letting the algorithms dictate our lives. It's about taking back control.
Taking back control when the deck is stacked against us is a monumental task for the average person. We're talking about a significant societal challenge, not just individual shortcomings. So, if we agree it's a challenge, what's the solution? For me, it's a more radical approach. Perhaps more people need to step away entirely, at least for a significant period, to reset their brains, to experience life without the constant pull, without the anxiety of missing out.
A digital detox is definitely a powerful way to reset, and I highly recommend it for anyone feeling overwhelmed. It gives you perspective. But a permanent, widespread quitting? I think that's unrealistic and, frankly, unnecessary. We wouldn't quit driving just because some people drive irresponsibly. We teach responsible driving. The solution isn't to abandon powerful tools, it's to learn how to wield them responsibly. It's about mindful consumption, setting boundaries, and understanding the why behind our usage.
Mindful consumption. Easier said than done when you're caught in the current of endless feeds. I genuinely believe that for many, a complete break might be the only way to truly understand what they're losing. And I think that leads us perfectly to our comment bait question for today, Ellen. I'm really curious to see what our listeners think about this one. Could you survive 30 days without social media?
Oh, that's a fantastic challenge, Carl. I think many would struggle initially, but ultimately they discover a lot about themselves and their habits. I definitely think it's doable, and a worthwhile experiment for anyone who feels their attention is slipping. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control, not the apps. For me, I probably could, though I'd miss some of the genuine connections I've made there.
I bet a lot of people would feel a huge sense of relief. Less comparison, less anxiety, more time for hobbies, more present in real-life interactions. That's my hope anyway. So, to our listeners, let us know your thoughts on that question. Could you survive 30 days without social media? And more broadly, do you think social media is fundamentally destroying our attention spans, or is it simply a tool that we need to learn to master?
Exactly. We want to hear from you. It's such a nuanced debate, and there are valid points on both sides. Whether you're a social media is toxic believer like Carl, or you see it as a powerful, albeit challenging tool like me, your perspective matters. Share your experiences, your strategies, or even your failures. We're all navigating this digital landscape together.
Absolutely. It's not about shaming, it's about understanding and finding ways to thrive in a world that's increasingly connected. We've covered everything from dopamine hits to digital literacy, and I think it's clear this conversation is far from over. Thank you, Hélène, for a spirited, thoughtful debate as always.
And thank you, Carl, for always pushing me to think deeper and challenge my own assumptions. It's been a truly engaging discussion. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Modern. We appreciate you spending your attention with us, consciously, we hope. We'll catch you next time.